Well, good morning. Well, it is here in Florida. I'm Landria, and I have something I want to ask you. Are you feeling a change? Are you feeling a shift? Are you saying no? Some of you are saying no, everything's the same. March is going to go by, nothing's going to change. I guarantee you that it will. It already has for me. We're going to talk about 7 clear signs that you are being pushed into a new timeline. What does that mean? A new dimension, a new reality. This is all real. This is science, and I want to talk about that. Are you feeling the 7 signs? You might be shifting into something very new and not even knowing it, especially those of you who think things are going wrong. Are you ready to find out what those 7 signs are? And I'm going to do an exercise with you at the end of this video to help you shift into that. If you want to change things, it's your choice. Let's go. Welcome to landriaonkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. Would you prefer that I wore a hat? Oh, I'm so clever. I hope you'll subscribe because we're going to go into a 2026 unlike any other year on this planet. Why? Because we're going into consciousness. What does that even mean? It means that we are aware that this is an illusion. It's a test. It is a facade of the most beautiful things, the adventures, the journeys we're going on. We're going to see it very differently, which means we're not going to feel like we're being punished or that we're struggling, but some of you will stay in that space, and that is your choice, but you can step out of it anytime. So I was just working with a student, and I said, as long as you have these beliefs in your head that things are this way, that reality cannot change. Did you see my last video? Edgarcayce talks about mind is the builder. So all of these predictions out there, he point blank said, and we ignore that really important part, that you can change all of it, including the cataclysmic events on this planet. There is proof that we affect what happens with her. I know you're thinking, oh no, she's separate. There's no such thing as separate. So let's go into this right now. Have you noticed that time feels strange? Well, time is an illusion, and the further away we go from the planet, it slows down. So what is time? Is it a moving target? No, it's installed here on the planet Earth so that your cause, your actions can create an effect so that we can learn, right? If things just change constantly, right? They slow down here because we're in 3D. If they change constantly with a thought, we wouldn't learn and realize that this created this consequence. Now, I started to talk about a student of mine, and so she has beliefs in her head that she's not worthy from her parents. And I said, well, you're really honoring those negative thoughts, and you can get rid of them anytime. And sometimes we're mimicking the very thing that we blame, but I want you to remember something. They got it from someone, and they got it from someone. So when we blame, we're not going into compassion for those who have been in a place of fear or anger and struck out at you. And your job is to go into the compassion. Then we switch how humans handle one another, how we react. And reaction is everything. And your reaction now creates a different effect. And that effect will show up here and here and here and here, because planet Earth allows those effects to show up throughout your entire timeline here. That means what you did years ago, if you abused your body or different things that happen in your life, that energy field comes with you. So it's time for us to reel it in. Have you noticed the old desires have disappeared? Now, I talked to you about December of 2025. I felt a huge shift. I felt like I was a different person. I actually completely revamped my business, and the things that were super important to me at that time, which were all very positive, I no longer had interest in, and I transferred it into something else. So just remember, you're never letting anything go. Nothing gets wasted. Everything is valuable experience. Unless you don't use it, then you don't think it's valuable, so then it isn't. So all these things in your past or whatever you're experiencing now, you can transition it into valuable lessons. How am I going to triumph in this? Old desires will disappear because now you are no longer clinging to anything in the material world that doesn't really produce results for you in the spiritual, right? Material world holds no importance other than it's a creation of our mind. Mind is the builder. So if I'm thinking something, it will appear. So if you want to know what you're thinking, take a look around you. And those of you who tell me nothing's changing, well, you're staying in that same thought pattern and saying the rest of us are fools when we're saying, I'm feeling these changes, but you can too. This is open for everyone. There is no right nor wrong. No one gets left behind. You are eternal. We are one source. And so this is all an illusion to think that you're separate so that you can play out this role. Do you feel like you simply cannot go back to your old life no matter how hard you try? There's a comfort level in the old life. And the bummer is you'll start to struggle now because you realize, oh, I can't go back to that either because it doesn't feel good. And this is uncomfortable because it's change. The change, I guarantee you, will absolutely take you to a new euphoria you've never experienced before. The timelines, the gateways, all these shifts that have been happening, these are just energy shifts that I keep talking about. Edgarcayce, their convergence of all of his predictions, no, not actual dates, talking about miracles happening and things. Why? Because the more we go into this awakened state, miracles are everyday life. And that can be yours starting today. So you're being pushed, a spiritual push toward a new timeline that's higher and more expansive for you. It's not necessarily better because we do learn from these experiences, these challenges, but you're being pushed. Why? Because you're choosing it. So it's like, have you ever gotten in line to a ride? I know my brother and my cousin used to do this. Oh, come on, you can do it. And you get closer and closer. And I got in line. I chose it and I stayed in line. And they're pushing me because they're like, you're going to love it when you get on there. Well, I didn't exactly love it, but it was an experience, and that's how it works. Once you choose that line, you get closer and closer. It doesn't always feel good. So be warned about this because you might think this is wrong. This is a bad decision. It's not feeling good. It's because change is very difficult for the brain that's wired to know what it knows. Okay. And if it knows pain and struggle, it will continue to gravitate toward that. So you have to break those bonds and reformulate them. This is science. If you know Joe Dispenza, you know that he studies and shows this. This is real stuff. So it takes a while for you to rewire that brain to say, I no longer want to do this. And all of a sudden you can't even imagine doing that other thing. I'm sorry, but you can't go back. You can't go back to that. It won't feel good. So what do? What do I truly want? You have to envision it. Do you spend more time thinking about the things that could happen that are bad instead of the things that could happen that are good? Most people do. That's the ego. It's protecting you. The ego wants to protect everything in the material world. And so it's not a bad thing. It's saying, watch out for that person or that job. I don't know if it's good for you, or somebody did this, or it just goes on and on and on, right? Shut her down. And this is the time we're going to do that. You can't go back to the old life. So I'm going to share 7 clear signs that 2026 is pushing you into a new timeline. Get on that roller coaster and put your hands up and go down screaming maybe. But then you'll start laughing when you go dip and you come back up and you say, okay, the next time it's not going to be that crazy, and that's how it works. You'll get immune to the challenges and you're going to understand, here's just another one I need to master to get on the leaderboard and up in the penthouse. And most importantly, don't resist this. If you move into the highest, most peaceful version of your reality, you're going to understand that it's worth going through this uncomfortable change. I asked AI, and I want to ask you this. AI does research for me. And I asked, what are people looking at out there in the spiritual community? What is it everybody looking for? I'm thinking I'm putting out these great videos and telling people how to change their lives, empowering them. Guess what? Tarot card readings, astrology, channelers, that a lot of them are fear-based. People still want to be told what to do. They still want to be told what their future is going to be. Still don't believe that they're controlling it. And that no matter what somebody tells you, if you believe it and it's not good, you will entangle with it and you'll create it and you'll say that they did it. They were right. Nope. They planted something that you agreed with or believed, and you helped create it. Watch that. So you're not a victim of a script written long ago, whether it's Nostradamus or edgarcayce. You're a powerful creator. This is a fact. The Bible says it. Christ said it. When do we start believing it? And the energies of 2026 are here to help you remember that. And it's a beautiful thing. It's going to be uncomfortable, but look at the world we're coming from. So my question to you is, girls, what makeup are you using? Here's mine, by the way. It's a vegan and non-toxic. Guys, are you drinking out of plastic bottles? Are you eating fast foods? Are you buying anything in packaging? It's not a perfect world right now, but we're getting there. So you have to watch everything in your life because your participation and actions are creating that world. And if you stop participating in the world that pollutes and violates our planet, Mother Earth, when you start to function on the higher level, you create it. And more of that will come to you. And pretty soon you're going to see us. And it's already happening in a very big way. Those of you who say it's not happening, I'm sorry. I'm seeing huge things, including our government, our health, and every area. I call them the light workers, are stepping out. And so you will get more assistance when you start to make changes, not resistance. Resistance happens when you're playing on the lower floors. Raise that frequency. Bless everyone. No one makes a mistake. Creator doesn't make a mistake. So stay with me to the end because I'm going to guide you through a simple practice and we're going to consciously choose a new timeline. So what do I mean by a new timeline? So let's define this in a grounded way. When I say timeline, I'm not talking about some science fiction parallel universe you suddenly wake up into, okay? This is totally your participation and your control. You are directing it. It's a path of probabilities. This is science. This is totally science. And it's Nostradamus, and it's Edgar Cayce, and it's Dolores Cannon. And the Hopi all say that all of these probabilities are there for us, their choice. And we are freaking out. We don't have to freak out when we realize we have the power and we're doing it. It can stop. And you're going to say, but they're doing this and they're doing this. Well, if you are not shining your light, then they cannot see. And the more we shine our light, the less that will be acceptable. And we're going to start to take action so that we don't have the Amazons that you're worried about or the packaging that we don't want. Do you know how long it takes plastic to disintegrate? Zero, it never does. I want you to think about that. We are responsible. So it's a path of probabilities, a cluster of choices, beliefs, and energies that create a very specific experience of reality. So you've got to get this in check. One timeline is built from fear, control, and limitation. That's the old earth. Another is built from love, creativity, higher consciousness. Let's just start with compassion. Can you love the other person who's struggling? Yeah, they created it themselves. So did you. We've all been through things. Can we shine our light for them? Not try to change them. You need to be different. That's a low frequency. That's still ego, wanting to control things. Oh, my family, they are not awakened. Really? I'm thinking maybe the family might be more awakened than you think. You have to go in and let it all go. Catch those thoughts. What am I thinking about? What am I criticizing, judging? And it's constant. You might be shocked when you really pay attention. So the love, creativity, and higher consciousness, that's the new earth, and that's what we want to choose. We want to live, right? It's possible. We have a lot of help coming in. Spiritual teachers and prophecies, many that you love, were all in their own way talking about shifts in timelines, shifts in the collective path humanity chooses. They're all talking about that, right? Go look at anybody. Edgar Cayce said, know that all strength, all help is in him who is the maker, the giver of all good and perfect gifts. That's reading 26283. Who is that? That source, it runs through you. It's the power of all things. It's the consciousness of all creation. Nothing separate, right? So it is the giver of all good and perfect. You're perfect. Yes, no matter what you've done. It's part of the journey. You are contributing to the collective knowledge of darkness and light. And what does that feel like? In other words, our future is not fixed. It's still changing every minute. So don't think, oh, we've gotten here. You have to maintain it. You have to be on your game. Because I thought when I went to this super crazy awakened state where you're not even really touching ground anymore, I'm there. That's it. You can relax. Nope, because you're still in a 3D world and all energies will affect you. So you can get pulled down again. So you have to be on your game. I'm sorry. You don't get to relax ever. That's okay. Once you stay there, you'll continue to learn and realize you can be pulled down. How do I maintain this high frequency? Our future is shaped by how much we align with higher consciousness. That's all we're supposed to do. Quit thinking about this and that and politics. None of that works if you are the wolf child, right? You wouldn't know about any of that stuff. You'd know survival. Okay, and you'd probably go into a place and worship the sun gods or the forest. You'd be one with nature because that's all you knew. Nostradamus, in his cryptic way, wrote, "The greater part of the battlefield will be against Hister. Into a cage of iron with the great one be drawn." That's a century 2, quatrain 24. So people have debated what that means for centuries, but the deeper message is this: the future is fluid and symbolic, not a rigid calendar of doom dates. Those were warnings. So whenever you hear something you don't like it, it's just a warning. Will you change it? If you know Greg Braden, go there and look up the Bible codes. It's pretty interesting stuff. And the Bible gives predictions in these codes. However, it continually says, will you change it? I like that. Neither Casey nor Nostradamus ever said in 2026 on this exact date, humanity will do this. What they did point to were cycles of ending and beginning, collapse and rebirth. And that's what I talk about when I say March or February. We're looking at, yes, convergence. We see the polar shifts. We see certain things happening on the planet. We see certain things happening in politics that they spoke of, and we know it's happening now. That's how we know that we have certain dates that these predictions have converged on. All right? 2026 is one of the most powerful pivot years. This is very exciting, but not if you don't participate. You'll see it differently and you'll say, yep, you guys were wrong. You will be living in the old earth because the power right now is here for you. February is a month of miracles. I had amazing things happen, and a lot of it is changes of releasing the old world you were living in that you might think, well, I don't really want to let that go, but you're supposed to shed it because you're ready for something new and amazing that you never imagined. Get ready for things that'll show up. It's very exciting. So why does 2026 feel so intense? Let's briefly ground it. So in February 2026, we have a rare Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees. Aries, the very first degree of the zodiac. Saturn is structure and karma. Neptune is spirit, dreams, the unseen. Aries is fresh beginnings. This is like a cosmic message. Old structures dissolve, a new spiritual beginning wants to be born. But not if we don't invite it in. Welcome it and don't fear it. Put fear aside. How can you fear anything? Source made everything. Fear is when you let go and allow the negativity in because you're on that frequency. Fear and anger, that's all there. If you're not angry, it has no power over you. Zero. So pull out of that. You are equal and perfect. We're also in the years of Pluto and Aquarius. Pluto transforms whatever it touches. Aquarius rules community, technology, and higher mind in a good way. That's why systems, governments, and even friendships are being shaken up. Have you noticed that? New friends coming in, and they might be very different. You didn't expect. Yeah, not your usual friendships that you have, and then you can't relate. Same thing with the material world. Numerologically, 2026 is a 9. If you know Tesla, if you're familiar with the 369, he had these magical numbers. Nine's one of them. It's a universal year, the number of completion. The old cycles, relationships, identities that cannot come with you are being cleared. They can't come into that space. There's no room for that. No one in the penthouse judges, is angry. So these things dissolve as you move forward. You don't need to remember the astrology or the numerology. You don't get hung up on this stuff. Just know this: the energies of 2026 are turning up the volume on your soul's true path and opportunities and turning the volume on everything else false. It's turning it up false. That's why we're seeing a lot of really nasty stuff coming to the surface, and we're finding things out. That's getting turned up too. So these two fierce powers, these beautiful powers, are now, we're making choices. Okay, that's what this whole planet's all about. Sign 1, you feel done with your old life, even if it looks fine. That's how I feel. I'm like, you know what? I'm a new person. I'm going to talk about different things. I'm going to do different things. I'm going to take my business. Those of you who are in my free series, landriaonkka.com, free inspiration, you're going to get a big announcement. The Conscious Creators Vault's opening. What am I doing? I'm pulling in all of my trainings into one vault. I want to help you get there. So go sign up for that and you'll hear an announcement because I have let go of how I'm even teaching because I'm taking it up a notch because I know you're ready for it. Are you doing that in your life? You feel like you're advancing? Got to let go of the old stuff. You might look around and think, I have food, a home, maybe even success, but I'm done with this. At least in that form. It doesn't mean you give up the food and home and the success. No, it means I'm done with it this way because I'm trapped in that material world of how things are. It's not really progressing my spiritual, let's just say expansion. This isn't boredom. It's your soul saying the frequency of this timeline has been completed. And you might notice you can't force yourself to care about certain goals. Oh, I'm feeling that. Old ambitions feel like clothes that don't fit anymore. You're disturbed by settling for fine instead of aligned, right? All of a sudden, that's why a lot of people, they get very depressed and they're empty. Where's my purpose? Yeah, because we're so focused on getting more things and thinking it'll fix us, it won't. And we're recognizing that and saying, I can go into this new space. How not to resist. Instead of judging yourself, what's wrong with me? I should be grateful. Try asking, what version of me is dying now? If I trusted that a higher timeline was opening, what tiny step would I take today? Just a tiny step shifts you. Just one tiny step. Let yourself mourn old identities, but don't resurrect them. They're not meant to come with you. You experienced it. It's okay. Let's move on to something new. It may surprise you. Sign number 2, relationships are rapidly reconfiguring. Okay? Don't worry. If you love somebody, they don't go away unless they choose. Maybe they're going to say, honey, this isn't working for me anymore. I love you, but got my coffee here. In a 9-year, karmic ties complete. That can look like long-term friendships quietly fading, sudden conflicts with partners or family, feeling lonely even in a crowd. You're feeling isolated. Edgarcayce emphasized how essential our choices and relationships are. That's energy fields. You either align or you don't. If you continue to align with that which doesn't serve you very well or them, you get this conflict and friction. Step away. He said, mind is the builder, the physical is the result. That's reading 262-3. As your mind, your consciousness shifts, the physical structures, including relationships, follow, right? They follow because you've gone to a different floor in the mansion. This is different. There's different people in there. Okay. Some may come with you. Maybe they go down to the basement again. How not to resist. Stop trying to drag everyone into your new timeline. I hear this all the time. Oh, you must be so. No, no, no. You must experience what you desire to. And if you fall on your face 20 more times, that's what you choose until you decide you don't want to do that anymore. Just be there when they get up. Hold your hand out. That's all. That's it. Bless people who are leaving. Thank you for walking with me this far. Ask who feels peaceful, expansive, and honest to be around now, right? Choose those people because now you're going to align with that frequency and you will attract those things on that level. Mind-blowing, cool stuff coming to you. Get ready for it. Your new timeline will include new soul family, but there is a transition period where old connections must be honored and released. These are not bad things. Oh, the bad, I gotta let this there be. No, honor it. Oh, thank you. You were my best teacher. Did I conquer that? Did I learn from it? Wow, thank you. I never would have gone to the next level on the leaderboard had you not been there to teach me. Your nervous, sign 3, your nervous system is overloaded, but you're not broken. Many of you report strange sleep patterns. Hello. Could they get any wackier? All right, waves of anxiety for no reason. I don't get that, but some of you might. Anxiety, that's part of the energy field. Old thoughts and feelings come in. Wait a minute, I know what struggle is. I know how to self-sabotage. That's a comfortable place. And that anxiety comes over, all right, feeling others' emotions more strongly. But don't get hung up on that. You guys say, I'm an empath and I'm feeling bad. I said, well, there's just as many good feelings out there. Why aren't you picking up on those? Look at your own frequency. Pluto and Aquarius plus the Saturn Neptune energies are amplifying intensity and sensitivity. That's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of upgraded perception. Casey often linked physical symptoms with spiritual shifts. He remarked, "For, as has been given, the body is indeed the temple of the living God." Reading 281-38. When consciousness expands, the temple needs time to adjust. It really affects our physicality, right? This is 3D. How can we go in that expansive space? It does affect everything, including your DNA upgrade. Watch my other videos. I talk about DNA and the phantom effect. DNA changes the room, the energy around it. And when you remove the DNA, that stays the same. You permanently change things and you can change them again. How not to resist. Stop labeling yourself as too sensitive. Instead, say, my instrument is becoming more finely tuned. Stop labeling yourself about anything. I'm this, I'm that, I'm ADHD, I'm traumatized. You're perfect. When you are ready to let that go and you change that story, but you don't know, Landria, what I've been through. Yeah, I actually do. I hear it all day from students. Okay. And I see the students who let it go, who completely bless those experiences and say, wow, that was a trip. So stop labeling. Ground daily, bare feet on the earth. Every morning I go out barefoot. I wonder what my neighbors think because I'm in my nightgown. Oh, it looks like a dashiki. I go out there, I look at the sun for 20 seconds directly, and I stand in the earth. Slow breathing, water, simple food. So I have water, I stand out there, look at the sun, I step around that beautiful grass. You probably say, there's snow out there. You'll figure it out. Go barefoot in your house, and it's still planet Earth, and connect with that sun. Even if it's under clouds, you're still getting some reduced stimulation, fewer doom videos, more silence. Stop looking for other people to tell you what your future is. I'm telling you how to create it. Your nervous system is learning to operate on a higher frequency. Support it like you'd support a child learning to walk. Sign number 4, time feels weird. You might notice days blurring together, certain weeks feeling like lifetimes. Things that used to take years now shift into weeks, and other things feel frozen. This is what it feels like when your consciousness steps out of old linear patterns and into quantum choice. And this is real stuff. Nostradamus never wrote, in the year 2026, time will speed up. He wrote in symbols and images. One of his quatrains says, the great man will be struck down in the day by a thunderbolt. Century 1, quatrain 26. What does that mean? Many interpret that literally, but you can also see thunderbolt as a symbol of sudden change. The great man will be struck down in the day by a thunderbolt. Nobody really knows what that means. Is it modern day? Has it already happened? We're going to see some of these things come to light, and we still won't know for sure what they mean. But I do know we're going to have some changes, big changes in, let's just say, the upper echelon of how things are working out there. Something's going to happen very big this year. Don't try to think you know what this is. I don't know for sure. Those of you in my private membership, I did have a dream yesterday. I will share that with you. I don't want to put it on the internet for the public. So come on over there if you want to join. How not to resist this. Instead of complaining, where did the time go? Choose presence in this moment. What's the most loving action I can take? Create simple anchors, morning quiet time, evening gratitude list, one loving action daily. That's it. The more present you are, the less disorienting the time distortions become. Sign 5, old coping mechanisms are failing. Habits that used to numb you out, scrolling, overeating, old addictions, even certain spiritual bypassing, just don't work anymore. My eating habits have changed so drastically. Yeah, and my body's changed. I'm like, what's going on? Just be patient with yourself and do all the things you can to nurture yourself. Make good choices, get off of processed foods and all this garbage, get plastic out of your house, stop putting any chemicals on your body, and know that you're going to detox and allow yourself to become that new 5D, 5D person in a 3D world. You may try to go back to the old feelings. Immediate emptiness you're going to feel, physical discomfort, a stronger inner no. You can't go there anymore. So accept it. You're a new person. That's because a new timeline you're entering cannot be built on escape. Casey said, in the application of spiritual laws, we find harmony, peace, and understanding. In the application of spiritual laws, harmony, peace, and understanding. That's reading 262-52. Your soul is no longer allowing you to apply lower laws, avoidance, denial, to a higher path. How not to resist this when your old coping mechanisms fail. Don't shame yourself. Say, this is evidence I'm growing out of this. Replace it consciously. One small nourishing practice in the same time slot. A walk, journaling, breath, a creative act, a loving act, compassion, loving thoughts. You're not losing comfort. You're trading numbing for true support. Sign 6, you're feeling a strong inner call to serve. Even if you don't know how you feel an inner voice, use me. Let me help. Let my life mean something in this shift. I always ask. Asking is given. Show me how I can serve, how I can be greater, more expansive with this positive power. Show me how I can increase the abundance and love and gifts in my own life, because when I'm flourishing, others will flourish too. And that's what we're here for. Service to others, but not to deplete yourself. This doesn't mean you have to start a big mission. It can be being the calm presence in your family, quietly blessing the planet each day, sharing wisdom with one person who's ready to hear it. Some of you are so wise and you've experienced things and now you can share it with others. We pass that along, right? In one reading, Casey encouraged, be content to be a channel of blessings to others. That's the kind of channeling I want to hear. Reading 262-3, the new timeline is service-based, not self-based. When that urge to serve arises, it's a sign your soul is already in that new energy. How not to resist this? Don't wait for the perfect role. Ask each morning, how can I be a blessing today? Follow the first gentle nudge. Drop comparison. Your soul's contribution is unique and needed, even if it looks small from a human point of view. Oh, well, they're doing this and you are amazing. There's a puzzle, a very complex one. And that picture is not complete without your tiny little piece in there. The whole puzzle doesn't work without your beautiful piece. Don't forget that. Sign 7, you sense 2 earths. One in fear, one in awakening. Those of you going into higher consciousness will be very aware of it. Those of you who fear this, all you see is the horrific things going on. Those who are advancing see the horrific things fighting harder to keep a world that's crumbling, even with free energy, holistic healing. All these things are coming to light. They're going to claw to keep that old world and brainwash you into doing things that aren't healthy for anyone. You've got to make higher choices. Yes, go down in my description. I give them to you. Let's honor those businesses who are helping us to create a new world that does not conform to the conflict and destruction toxins. All right? 2 earths. So you're going to see this and you have to make that choice, but you will see and be aware of that other world. Step back and be at peace. Go into peace. One in fear, one in awakening. You may feel like you're living in 2 worlds. You're observing the other one. Don't participate in it. One where the news, social media, many people are in deep fear, anger, and division. They're going to blast you more with it, right? Go into fear, go into fear. Because we're weak when we're in fear. We're weak, and they know it. Another quieter world where people are awakening, simplifying, creating, loving exists. Are you creating, loving, simplifying? My chic sustainability, you guys are going to learn more about this. I'm teaching you how to do all that. I'm using some amazing things and I'm sharing it with you, and it comes from nature. You haven't gone crazy. You're perceiving 2 timelines. They are running side by side, not separately, as one, but you can see the distinct differences. They're just choices. Old prophetic frameworks from Casey to Nostradamus all hinted at this choice point, destruction or transformation. And that's why I'm naming these months, because I see all these things happening astronomically, energetically, with our sun, with our polar shift. There's so many things converging right now. It's now. Casey warned of earth changes if humanity continued in selfishness. But he also emphasized, there is no fate. There is destiny, for destiny is of the spirit. In other words, the destiny is the choice we make. There is no fate. Fate is blasted on you and you can't escape it. Destiny is of the spirit. meaning we choose it, we create it. Reading 357-13. It's not a fixed event. It's the direction of your spirit. How not to resist this. Stop arguing with the fear timeline. You don't need to convert everyone. That's arguing. That's conflict. You're wrong. Step away and bless them and say, make those choices. My student was here and I had to let her just continue on. I could have sat her down and forced her to do things with me that would really help her business and other things. And I didn't. I offered, and I thought, I still have to let her learn for herself that the help is always here. This is for you too. Help is always there. Are you asking for it? Are you seeking it? Are you giving it? You don't need to convert everyone. Place your energy where you want to live. In kindness, creativity, problem solving, hope. Curate your inputs. More uplifting content, less outrage content. Step away from the craziness. You vote for the timeline you inhabit with every thought, word, and choice. Some of you don't believe that. A choice is a thought? Yep, it's that simple because you're creator and everything is so much more subtle than you can imagine. A thought is changing everything. You're shifting constantly. Let's do a short practice together to integrate this. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. And imagine two paths in front of you. On the left, a path of fear, repetition, and clinging to the old. And on the right, light, a path of trust, creativity, and higher guidance. And say quietly or out loud if you can, today, I choose the higher timeline. I allow what is complete to fall away. I step forward in trust as a channel of peace, love, and clarity on this planet. Feel yourself stepping into that right-hand path. You don't need to know all the details. You just need to say yes. It's that simple. And when you're ready, open your eyes. You're in that pathway now. You're in that light. Stay there. You can observe the other. We don't get away from the observation. We are still a collective on this planet together. That's purposeful. You don't run away from it. You shine your light on it. And you say you're welcome anytime you want to come over. And somebody might reach their hand over and say, help me. And you'll say, guess what? You're perfect. You do not have to cling to that world. It will not solve problems because you don't have any. You just have to know that. You're not here by accident in 2026. You're part of the consciousness that's choosing a new earth, a new timeline for humanity. And by the way, all realities exist, so that means that the reality of gloom and doom will happen for those who choose it. All right? It doesn't go away. Everybody doesn't get saved in this scenario. They may go on to learn new things on the other side. No one is condemned. It's just a choice of frequency, and it can appear to be hell because it's a choice. And you get to go to the penthouse anytime. But that is service to others. And again, I want to emphasize, because I hear this all the time, it doesn't mean sacrifice, struggle, pain, all right, giving to the point where it's not good for you. There's a balance there. So people have said, oh, well, you're selling things. I said, well, you know what? I live in a world where I have to pay bills. What are you doing for a living? That's the choice you must make. Yeah. How you're earning and how you're giving, right? You're no good to anybody if you don't flourish. And abundance is available to everyone. It's a new world. You're going to have to seek it in a different way. And that peace here doesn't come from that material world, right? But we sure can do a lot of good things with it. So never forget that. It's just as easy to create a castle as a button. So if this spoke to you, let me know in the comments which sign you're experiencing most strongly. We'll continue this journey together. Not only would I ask you to subscribe, put the thumbs up if you like this, then algorithms will tell YouTube to blast it out to other people. And go into my description, click more, and you can see non-toxic tooth bites, ways to clean your house. Those of you who are using laundry detergent in plastic bottles, The detergent's toxic. The plastic never disintegrates. I have Blue Land down there. You get discounts. Mine come in tabs, in paper that disintegrates. These are the businesses that I'm promoting. If that's bad, that's your belief. But I know that I'm going to continue to make purchases and support the reuse. I go to consignment, I give to consignment, reuse, recycle, sustainable. And I have so much to tell you. I'm going to tell you more in my membership about what I'm doing now with business people out there that are blowing my mind. There are good things happening. I promise you, my friend, I'm seeing it. The fact that I switched my contract over to something so amazing, connecting with people who are creating businesses that are inspiring and changing the world. It's not a coincidence. That's the switch that I made in December, and it's happening now for you. It may be scary, but I know you can do this. So please purchase my book if you're interested, not because I'm asking, but because this was a message, a download that I got that said, people are ready for this. It has to come out. And boy, I got it out. And hopefully it's changing your life. If not, there's always something available for you, opportunities that are going to come into your life today. Please know that. I speak the truth because everything's true. You just get to choose your truth. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. That's from the Master Key System, a magical book. You might want to read it. Maybe we'll review it one day. Blessings to you, my perfect light being. Namaste.